Welcome, people. Yeah, welcome to our first Adfin Brew. I mean, for those of you that know Adfin, I probably don't need to explain the tea connection, but me and Nikki are here with our Adfin mugs. But yeah, today we're going to do the first episode of the Adfin Brew, just talking about credit control for accountants, which is a new kind of service line we've been trying to introduce to the accountants using Adfin, all about how you can use Adfin on behalf of your clients and basically sell that as a service to make some more money, but also help your clients get paid faster. I guess maybe a bit of housekeeping first. Feel free to ask questions in the chat, and we'll answer them all at the end. We'll just leave those to the Q&A at the end. Okay, cool. Before we get into it, Nikki, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone. So I'm Nicola Hageman. I run an accountancy practice called The Numbers Quarter, and I'm also one of the co-founders of FreshPay. Both of them use Adfin for all of our billing, all of our invoicing. I think we were one of the first clients that you had, not quite the first, which is really annoying, but yeah, I've been using you for nearly 2 years now. So yeah,
Cool.
that's me.
And for those of you who don't know Adfin, we are a payments platform designed to help accountants and their clients get paid faster at a lower cost. And the way we do that is that we basically give you the ability to let your clients choose how they pay through like direct debit, card, bank. We do all the payment methods, but we importantly have all the credit control and chasing built in, which is kind of what helps us offer this service that we're going to talk about today. And just a bit of context into why we've decided to kind of launch this. So obviously we have a lot of accountants using Adfin and they were referring a lot of their SMB clients to start using it. But there's a lot of SMB clients who kind of want to be hands off with accounts receivable. So we thought this is actually a really great opportunity for accountants to launch a new service line where they can basically manage credit control, accounts receivables, whatever you want to call it, on behalf of their clients. And like I mentioned, make some more money, help them get paid faster. It's a win-win. And the way we did that is we kind of thought internally how it could work. So we basically wrote an initial playbook about how accountants could like package it, position it, price it, use Adfin to support the service. And then we basically sat down with 6 of our accountant customers, including Nikki here, who kind of helped us iterate the playbook so it's actually useful in practice. Which we've now launched. So we'll post the link after this webinar as well for you guys to download. But yeah, we thought it might be useful to actually sit down with the people that we spoke with and just kind of chat through it all so you guys can see how it works in practice. Excuse me. Cool. And I think just one thing to highlight is this, we imagine this service working like very differently for each practice, because obviously you all have different clients, you all have different ways of managing things internally. So the kind of way that Nikki will speak about things today might not match you and your practice or the way we're going to speak to about the other accountants either. So the idea is kind of, we hope that you guys will get some ideas about how it could work for you. And yeah, hopefully use that to help you launch the service as well. So, Nikki, do you think that was enough of a rundown of the service? Do you think we need to go into more depth?
Oh, I think that was perfect for where we can start. Yes.
Okay, cool. So I think it would be good to start with like where you see this working for your clients. So like which of your clients you see this working well for, and maybe which you don't see it working well for.
Sure. So our practice is probably dealing with like smaller clients. We do a lot of compliance work, so not a huge amount of sort of day-to-day management, but we do quite a lot of bookkeeping for some of the clients. So the clients that we can see this working for is the busy ones. Like we've got quite a lot of tradespeople, we've got a lot of consultants and things who invoice their clients, but they don't necessarily chase it. They're not looking at it. They're kind of overdue invoices on a regular basis. So having the solution to be able to, for us to be able to go in remotely, check who has and hasn't paid and start that credit control process, just sending some invoices out, I think will work really well. We I don't think our clients need a full kind of credit control solution. I don't really think it's us ringing up people and sort of like having those conversations. Actually, the bit that that we've seen working is just those manual chases, the kind of reminder emails and things. And it's only a minimal amount of people that would need that next level of credit control. But actually, I mean, we've been using it with the numbers quarter and with FreshPay for all this time, and so I've seen kind of how that credit control works. So I obviously do credit control for the numbers quarter, using Adfin, using the reminder emails, and I forgot what you call them, co-pilot or whatever it is, your autopilot, yeah, to be sending out kind of like personalized emails, which I think works really well. So I think everybody's been so used to seeing zero reminders or like generic reminders that when you get an email from an actual person, from an actual inbox that actually has their name and just checking in type conversations, and that works really well. And obviously with Adfin's credit control solution, you're not even having to go in and send those emails. You could actually have that automated as well, which again, like just means once you're setting things up, it makes it nice and easy. So we do have a few clients that have got like bookkeeping in-house, which probably wouldn't be us doing that credit control, but we might help them set it up, or we might even just give them a link over to Adfin to go and set it up themselves, and kind of they can manage that process. But the solution in general is really useful for clients. So if we can then help support them in kind of making sure that's working for them and that they get access to that extra credit control, it's always going to be better than just using Xero's or QuickBooks reminder system.
Okay, cool. And I think just giving a quick bit of context on kind of like the scope of the offering is when we discussed it with these 6 accountants that we sat down with, we initially thought of it as just working well for people who have like really high volume of invoices, lots of pain in getting paid. But actually, we kind of iterated on that idea and we actually thought this could be like a tiered offering where you could have like a tier 1 offering where it's like setup only. So that could be for clients who you could charge a one-off fee to set up Adfin, set up all the workflows and all the chasing, but then they look after it themselves. Tier 2, which we kind of like labeled as like light management. So I think, Nikki, that's kind of where you think some of your clients sit, right?
Yeah,
Where
definitely.
they don't have like lots of pain, but would still like benefit from you kind of looking after it all. And you just kind of like need to monitor it and like look at exceptions and things like that, all the way up to full credit control, which can mean different things for different practices. But it could look like just purely an Adfin, but like a full credit control package could be for someone who's like got a high volume of invoices, has lots of pain in getting paid. So it might just like require you to like monitor a little bit more, / you could just charge a bit more for that service because they're high volume. So that's kind of a bit of context on that. So Nikki, were you basically saying that most of your clients sit in that like light management middle tier? Would you also have people that you would potentially do like setup only for?
Yes, probably. So definitely a mix of the two. Probably more around that light management. If they're going to be using Adfin at all, that's probably where they would sit, so that we can actually sort of do a little bit of support to be able to get their cash flow working better. But yeah, I would say we might do some setup. We might even just leave people to get on with it. Just send them the referral link over and leave them for that, and just kind of reap the rewards of being in the club and getting their discounts. So yeah.
Do you think, how would you like distinguish between the people that you just send like a referral link to versus the ones that you manage? Is there like certain characteristics in how they run their business that makes it easy for you to decide which is more appropriate?
Um, I suppose it depends. We would have a conversation with the client. We talk to them about sort of improvements and process improvements and things like that fairly regularly. There are some clients that we're fairly hands off, and we only speak to them at the end of a year. So it's not like we're doing it kind of always. But we would play it by ear. We would have a chat with a client saying, actually, I've got this solution. Do you want us to help you set it up? Or do you want the link? You can do it yourself. Obviously, that would take you longer. Are you time poor, or are you, do you want to pay for it, or do you want to pay for it in time? So it would depend on the individual. Ideally, we'd want to be involved in it, because just to make sure that kind of everything's working. But I know you guys are really good at getting people onboarded and getting them set up. So I've sent a couple of clients over to you that have literally just sent my link, and that's it. They're done within a week or so. They're up and running and collecting payments. So it kind of is kind of on a client by client basis, really.
Okay, cool. And I guess it would be good now to discuss like how this would work in practice with like the flow of getting paid. So obviously with Adfin, it's kind of end to end from the invoicing to the getting paid part. So Nikki, it might be useful for you to just like run us through how you use Adfin for your practice and then how that flow could look like for different clients that you might have on this service.
Yeah. So for us, most of our invoicing is monthly, recurring. So everything's set up as a recurring template in Xero. So it all then obviously just flows through to Adfin. Adfin send the reminders out. And I would say the majority of our clients are on direct debit. So actually that works really well for us. That gets paid around the middle of the month. A couple of people might bounce. It then gets reminders sent out to the people that are bouncing. It gets retried for free. So you don't have to pay for retries, which was so frustrating previously. So yeah, it retries it a couple of times, but also can send an email out to clients to just go, actually, here's a reminder, your direct debit bounced. Make sure you've got some money in your account. And then we do sort of one-off invoicing where people will pay manually. So if we're doing quite a lot of our self-assessments, for example, are on one-off invoices. So we would then send those out. They're the ones that we need to do a bit more credit control for, because some people will pay immediately as soon as they get the invoice through. Some people will need a few reminders to kind of get that paid. So that's what I really love about Adfin, is the fact that I can go in there and track it really easily to see whether they've like when they've received it. We can see what the flow has been, how many reminders they've been sent. And it goes automatically, doesn't it? So I don't even really have to think about it. It sends a couple of Adfin reminders, then sends one that comes from me. Well, not obviously from me, but from me. And that's the one that I find gets the most response. So either someone will message back and just go, oh, so sorry, I'll pay it now. Or, oh, actually, I've got this issue. Can we fix that first? So that personal invoice email really makes a difference. So that's how we're doing it for the numbers quarter. So a little bit of a mix. So people are paying by card, people are paying by direct debit. And then most of my clients would be fairly similar. There are some that don't do like recurring invoices. It's just like one-offs here as they do the work. So they're the ones that we need to credit control much better, because one-off invoices, paying by card, are always much harder, I think, to kind of get clients paying in a timely fashion, because they've got to go and do something with it. But it's always so much easier to do it through that, rather than having to say, oh, here's my invoice, can you now go and set up a bank payment? I haven't paid you before. I'm going to go and need some sort of two-factor authentication to be able to do it. So yeah, just the ease for our clients to be able to, or our clients' customers to be able to make that card payment really kind of speeds up that process.
Okay. And how are your clients how are your clients wait, how do I say that? How are your clients customers no, how are your clients invoicing? Yes, because you're going to be managing admin on their behalf. So how is that flow different to yours from the like invoicing side of things? Are they like using other tools? And like if you are then going to be managing the admin account for them, like how much does that flow differ? I know you said like there's going to be more of those one-off, but like is there much of a difference in like how you manage that versus with the numbers quarter?
So all of our clients raise their own invoices. We don't raise anybody's invoices, because actually it's completely inefficient for them to tell us what to raise and for us to go in and do it. So we've trained people to do it. I actually really like the idea of them being able to come into Adfin and do that, rather than having to go into Xero and raise those invoices. So that's probably the next step that we would then have, that they come in and do all of that within the Adfin like ecosystem, I suppose. At the moment, they're raising invoices in Xero. That then would map through into Adfin. We would then obviously then see that, and that's where we would track it. We're more likely to track it in Adfin, because I think we've got a lot more we can do a lot more with it in Adfin rather than tracking it through Xero. So that's kind of would be the process that we would have. And then obviously the team would then go in and look at those invoices, see whether they are coming up for renewal, but up for payment. But yeah, making sure that the reminders are in the right are set up correctly. Like I love a reminder, your invoice is due in 3 days, your invoice is due today, that type of thing. So making sure that that works for the clients. Not a huge amount of difference to the numbers quarter from that kind of one-offs. It's just the fact that they quite often don't have the recurring invoices. It's more manual one-off payments with cards or something instead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It sounds like a pretty similar setup to the numbers quarter with like the zero flowing into admin. Okay, cool. And do you already have like clients who are using other payment providers like GoCardless or Stripe? And obviously we've got an easy migration service to basically, if they are using GoCardless, like move over direct debit mandates without having to do anything. But would you be able to like facilitate that migration for the clients? Because obviously you need to get the payments into Adfin for the credit control to work as well.
Yeah, so we've got a few clients that we've already transferred over that were on GoCardless and Stripe as well. Sometimes the Stripe ones aren't as easy to transfer over just because of the way that Adfin needs the invoicing done at the moment. And I know that you're doing loads of work around that at the moment, which I'm quite excited to kind of see how that works out. But yeah, the ones that are on kind of GoCardless that do have those monthly direct debits, that process has been like really easy to do. So they just give you permission to go and basically move it. Obviously making sure that you've cancelled all of the old mandates within GoCardless first, because otherwise they get transferred over as well. So you do need to do a little bit of tidying up beforehand. That's something that we get involved with our clients to sort of like help them to tidy it up. They do need to give us some input into that because we can't do it all ourselves. But yeah, and that process has been really good. So I've seen it really slick between getting those mandates out of GoCardless into Adfin, getting them all set up, and then linking that directly with Xero has worked really well for us. So yes, a bit of hand holding to make sure that it's worked properly with the client. But that just works really well. I've got a few clients that didn't even have anything like GoCardless or Stripe or card payments or anything. They were literally just sending invoices out and asking for bank transfers. So the difference for them is going to be massive because it's just the ease of use. They don't have to track the money coming into the bank, matching it off against Xero. You don't have to make sure that you've recorded that before you start sending reminder emails out. So having everything in one place, tracking who's paid, who hasn't paid, and only sending reminders to those that have, those that you still need payment from is kind of really, it makes such a difference from a customer service perspective. I think at the moment our clients want to be great at customer service. So they don't want to be sending out a reminder email when someone paid them by bank the day before. So that is quite important kind of from that perspective as well.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of like one of the key benefits of Adfin, that you can actually have everything in one place because we offer all the payment methods. So okay, cool. So I think we kind of understand who like you think this would be good for and like how the flow would work. How would you go about like pitching it to your clients? Like when would you bring this up to them? Like is this something you bring up at onboarding or like in a review or once you realize they're having problems? When is a good time for you, do you think?
I always struggle selling new services to our clients. I think quite a lot of accountants do. So it's one of those, it's a conversation. Usually somebody will tell me they're having an issue and I'll be like, oh, well, maybe we can fix that. I quite like sort of telling people about things that could be done better, best practice, that sort of stuff. But it's quite clients are always tricky. They're always busy. They never want to kind of like they're like, oh no, I'll get to that later. So it is quite hard. But yeah, on onboarding, we always talk through, what are you doing at the moment? This is a better way of doing it. Do you want us to start setting that up now? How, like, can we sort of put a plan in place of where you're going to get to in like the next 6 months? Current clients, we talk to them kind of at year end. We might sort of go, actually, do you know what? Let me tell you about a few things that we've seen over the last year that have helped other clients. Do you want to explore any of those? And the team, when they're doing the bookkeeping and things like that, if they're sort of seeing people on GoCardless or seeing people taking Stripe payments, they will kind of like send a quick message. Actually, did you know that there's other solutions? Did you want to talk to somebody about it? I think it would save you some money. I think it could save you some time. So yeah, it's kind of all touch points really, but it's trying to fit it into our day-to-day working life when everyone's manic busy doing all the other bits and pieces as well. So yeah, it's not easy.
Okay, cool. And do you think like how would you frame the like value side of it? Like what words do you think you would use to kind of convince people this is a good idea for you to handle for them?
I think it's just taking that stress away from them. They don't have to even think about it. A lot of our clients are small businesses, as I say, so they're sort of doing invoicing on a Sunday night around the TV with the family. Like there's a lot of that going on, kind of outside of the day to day. So for them to not have to manage tracking and bringing in money as well is quite like a time saver off their plate. A lot of our clients don't chase at all, so it just sits there as being an unpaid invoice, and if we can get that cash into them quicker, they can start doing the things they want to do, investing in the business, or taking money out themselves and actually going on holiday, like whatever it is that my clients want. If we can make sure that their cash is coming in a timely manner, it makes such a difference to running a business, and it takes that stress away of like, oh, am I going to be able to afford to do XYZ next month? So yeah, it's that type of thing. I think it is a pain that we're trying to save them from, so trying to sort of talk them through that. And yeah, most of our clients don't like numbers, don't like money, don't like talking about it. They just want us to kind of get on with it. So it works quite well for us to just sort of go, actually, I can do this and make this better for you.
Yeah, I guess ultimately, like the business owners want to do one thing, which is run their business and like
Yeah.
not worry about things like this. Okay, cool. Have you thought about packaging? How are you actually gonna like package this up? Are you like gonna follow like the like tiered offering, or yeah, like what does like this light touch version look like for you?
Yeah, I think, as I say, my clients are quite small, so I don't think they need like a full credit control solution in the traditional sense. I think it would be a light touch for us. So it would be a small monthly fee for us to be going in and making sure Adfin's working, get the setup correct, and maybe once a month we'll go in and start doing a little bit more manual chasing of people. So maybe we'll send another reminder out, or we'll send another statement or something like that. So it will be very light touch. The team will be involved in doing that. It won't be anything kind of high level, but it will be um, just make sure it's working properly, basically, and maybe sending a quick report to the clients to just go, this is what you've got outstanding at the end of the month, or something like that. I think that'll be kind of one option. Another one will just be, actually, let's just get set up on Adfin. And your invoices will just go through it, and you can just kind of have a check in if you want to. This is how it works, but get them set up and then leave them to sort of run it themselves. So
Okay, cool. There's obviously loads of sections that we could like go into with this, as you know, Nikki, from our 2 hour session the other week. But I think without like going into too much depth into like a whole nother bit, like specifically around pricing or like the features you could use, is there like anything you like want to highlight for people who are like thinking about offering this for the first time? Or just like any like tips just from the conversations we've had with you?
I think get in there and just use it yourself. I think most people watching this will probably be accountants, in which case they have got credit control to do for their own businesses. So use it for yourself, see what it does. Like, obviously I've been using it for nearly 2 years now, and so I've seen Adfin develop so much over that time. It's in such a good place now. The features that you've got available are great. So use it, see how it works. The more experience you get kind of yourself, the more you can then realize actually how great it will be for your clients, and then you'll be able to you don't need to sell it to them, because actually it is such a good service to offer that
Yeah.
it's not selling, it's just helping. So yeah, I think it's that would be my main one. Try it yourself, get a couple of your clients who you're really friendly with. Like, so the first couple of people that I did it with were people that I network with and see on a regular basis. I was like, can you be my guinea pig? I want to take somebody through like transferring from GoCardless over to Adfin. It didn't quite work how I expect it to. That's my fault, because I didn't read the guides. I just decided that I could do it all myself. But it worked, and it was great. So yeah, I think that was my process. Get a couple of people on, see how it kind of feels, and then kind of start rolling out to other people once you're kind of more comfortable, I suppose, in what that process is.
Yeah. So is that how you would approach offering this as a service line as well? Like first doing it with those clients you can see it really working well for, seeing how it works with them, seeing how the conversations go, and then kind of expanding the offering to others.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the couple that I tried it with, I didn't charge for it. I mean, I probably should have done, maybe, I don't know, but they were my guinea pigs. So actually I was gaining experience out of using them. they are basically managing it themselves right now. So we've kind of had a light touch over the first couple of months just to sort of see what's been happening. We've then trained them on it, and they're now managing it themselves. But yeah, we could then go and offer that to them as like, oh, actually now we're going to be doing a slightly higher level package. Do you want us to get involved in it? That sort of thing. But yeah, I think that's definitely from a confidence level as well. It means you are sure in what you're doing, and I think that makes it much easier to go and sell it to other people.
Okay, cool. And in terms of like the playbook and how accountants can use it, do you think, obviously you're allowed to say no, do you think do you think like that's enough to like get going, or would you like recommend them doing something else as well before they think about launching this?
No, I think the playbook's a really good idea, really good read. It will give you an overview of what's going on, give you some ideas actually in there as to how you could do it. And I think it's always good to see what other people are doing or to have ideas around what other people are doing. Because we're stuck in our own little world, aren't we? And we're doing it the way that we do it. But actually having a chat or having a conversation or seeing what another accountant's doing with their practice does still give you a spark of inspiration as to how you could do it in yours. So yeah, I think it's really good to be able to read through, get some ideas. You'll probably go through it and go, no, that bit doesn't work for me, but that bit does. And it won't be that everything will work, but it will give you some ideas to kind of get started. And I don't know whether it's just me, but I quite like when someone else tells me what to do almost, so that I don't have to make any decisions. I just like, oh, okay, fine, I'll follow it through. So yeah, that I think works well.
Yeah, I think the idea with the playbook is like we wanted to make as many decisions for you as possible so that like we understand you're all busy people. We've got a lot of decision fatigue. So it's like, this is what we recommend. Obviously, if you think it doesn't suit like you and your practice, fine, change it, like use that as a benchmark, don't. But yeah, that was kind of the initial idea. Okay, cool. Thank you, Nikki. I think we've got like 5 minutes left, so I'm just going to check, or 3 minutes left actually, if we've got any questions. I think we've got one question in the chat around whether Adfin will work with Sage. So we don't have an integration with Sage at the moment. So it will be uploading invoices into Adfin, which also works really, really well. But you could also speak to our integration specialist, Nathan. I can get you in touch to see if we can do anything for you there to make that a bit more slicker. No other questions at the moment. Nikki, do you think there's anything else we should chat through?
No, Tom, you are not allowed to drop your Adfin referral code in the chat.
I think this is Nikki's claim here. Any sign-ups
mine.
have to go through Nikki's referral link.
So on that, for anybody that is listening, Adfin do offer a really generous referral scheme for accountants. So they do the ABC Club, which is the Accountants and Bookkeepers Club, because obviously very well named by Tom originally. But sorry?
It just like flows a bit better. The ABC
just flows.
Club.
ABC Club, yeah. So as an accountant, if you're on the ABC Club and you have at least one referral, you get 0.75% for your direct debits. So a discount from 1%. So that for me has saved me loads. I'm already on the silver package, so I'm paying 0.5% at the moment. I need another like 8 referrals and I get to pay no percent on my direct debits. Like that's a great saving. But also if you refer people, you get £100 Amazon voucher for you and for the person you've referred, and the person you referred gets 0.75% for a year as well. So all in, I think it's a really good incentive package. So they look after us as accountants. They want us to be doing our job. And yeah, it's worth signing up and having a look. So definitely.
For sure. And also another thing to note is obviously we started off with the ABC Club, which was the referral scheme, which is like I mentioned, we already had lots of accountants referring Adfin to their clients to help them get paid faster. This is like slightly different. So instead of just sending a referral link, you're actually like signing up them to Adfin on their behalf, which you can actually do quite easily in the console. And then you're like using Adfin on their behalf, but it also counts as a referral for you. So you still get all the benefits. The client will still get their £100 Amazon voucher. You'll get yours, and you still get all the direct debit discount benefits as well. So I think like when you're thinking about this service, there's going to be people that are appropriate for the service and people who are just, like we discussed earlier, great just to send a referral link to. That would just benefit from using a really, really good payments platform.
And a great team as well. Like, and I know that I said about it earlier about the customer service. Like, accountants are really, we love good customer service. We want to be able to talk to real people, and that's why I've invested quite so much with you and the team, because you genuinely care about your customers, and you can tell that. And when you're coming from somewhere like GoCardless, who is a faceless, massive company who just wants to charge you as much money as possible, to come into something that actually is real and means something, like, actually, us accountants love being part of a community. Like, I've got so many great communities. Tom, who is in the chat at the moment, and I can see a couple of other names, they're in the community that I'm in accountants therapy. So we love it. Like, we want to talk to other people. We want to have like relationships with other people. It's hard work running a practice. It's hard work looking after our clients. If we can have people who care about whether we actually succeed, it makes such a difference to our day-to-day life. So anyway, I love you guys at Adfin. I literally rave about you all the time. And I just think it's just such a great company and such a great ethos. So yeah, thank you for supporting us as well.
We love you too, and we love all the accountants, and everything we do is basically built around you guys. Like, we don't just like come up with things to add to the roadmap. Like, it's all come from everything that you guys want us to build and do.
Usually me chatting to you guys on live chat going, can you put this feature in, please?
Yeah, on support like every single day, talking about something. But it's very useful to us because then it helps us build out what you guys actually need.
And their Adfin mugs are really nice as well. So I'm sure that if you saw one of them somewhere, they might give you a mug if you ask nicely.
Yeah, if you guys are at Accountex next week, please swing by. We're going to have lots of tea tins and lots of mugs. So if you don't have one yourself yet, that's the place to go next week. I should really remember our stand number. I think it's 1364, but you guys won't remember that anyway. Just come say hi.
It's a number. We don't do numbers unless it's got a spreadsheet, right?
Yeah, true. All right. Well, anyway, thank you guys for joining. We are going to do another one soon with another one of the accountants that we spoke with around this playbook that helped us build it. Maybe next week or maybe the week after post Accountex. But yeah, hopefully it'll give you guys a bit more insight about how everyone is approaching this differently for their practice and like help you build that out yourselves. But anyway, thank you, Nikki, as always. Very helpful.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yep. Goodbye, everyone.